All right, Rachel, thanks a lot. Let's start by taking a look at the earnings calls for 20th Century Fox and Time Warner. I'll start with 20th Century Fox. For the quarter one ended September 2017, quarterly revenues were up 8% or about $500 million. There was a small increase in quarterly income, and continuing operations before income tax expense grew 5%. The interesting thing here is that cable news programming and TV had what Rupert and Lachlan Murdoch called double-digit gains in affiliate revenues. And that's interesting because there is a 10%, call it double-digit, there's a 10% difference in cable news programming year over year for that quarter. But when you look at television, there's a drop of 36% in operating income before depreciation and amortization. And then in filmed entertainment, there's a drop in 18% as well. So obviously, Century Fox does have a double-digit or a 10% increase in cable news programming, but it's seeing problems in its television and filmed entertainment areas. All right, so next up on the list is Time Warner, with revenues increasing by 7% to $31.3 billion. Turner and home box office subscription revenues increased 13% and 11%. So obviously that's a bright spot. And operating income grew 5% total. So it's interesting to see that home box office is up 13%, as well as Turner 10%. But there was a decrease in Warner Brothers by 11% in the operating income area. Total operating income rose 13% from $1.7 billion to $1.9 billion for 3 months ended February 2018. All right, so I conducted a vertical analysis of the two balance sheets focusing on liabilities. According to Investopedia, the main advantage of vertical analysis is that the financial reports of businesses of all size can easily be compared. It also makes it easy to see relative annual changes within one business. Vertical analysis calculates each line item of a financial statement as a representation of the percentage of the statement's main focus, in this case, liabilities. All right, so two data points really pop out here. One is the regularity year over year. These ratios are almost the same for all categories. The one small difference being payable royalties and rights increasing from 5% of liabilities to 9% of total liabilities. That's nearly double. On the other hand, Time Warner did have some more significant differences. A reasonable increase in current liabilities from 20% of total liabilities to 23% of total liabilities, with a large difference in debt due within 1 year from $198 million to $1.9 billion, from 0% to 5% of total liabilities. So I'm only covering a couple of these analyses. You can also see a dozen total analysis in the slide deck for assets and liabilities on the balance sheet, as well as the income statement, vertical and horizontal analysis.
That was wonderful, Jeremy. Now let's hand it over to our veteran investor, John Robles, for his input on investing or lending for 21st Century Fox or Time Warner.